What's going on, ladies and gents? Rocco Brown here from MyGamingJourney.com, and if you're new here, we are diving into a recent 1v1 ranked match that I played. At the time of this recording, I am a Gold 3 on the ranked match ladder in 1v1. I primarily main House of Lancaster. I do play a little bit of English, play a little bit of Japanese as well, but primarily House of Lancaster is my go-to civ. Now, with that being said, the purpose of these videos is nothing more than to keep track of my progress, look at some of the pros and cons of things that I may have done right, things that I've done wrong, and ultimately me keeping track and tabs on my process of getting better. With that being said, this is where you come in. Any tips, tricks, comments, or concerns, definitely feel free to leave them in the comments section below. As long as we remain respectful and keep things on task, I'm all for reading and responding to the comments, but as I mentioned, keep things respectful and keep things on topic, right? So with that being said, this particular matchup today was against a Japanese player, me playing as the House of Lancaster, and naturally we are going to go over and evaluate things together. Now, as I mentioned, I am a Gold 3 player, ladies and gents. If you are looking for pro-based knowledge, I'm not the person that you're looking for. These videos are not for you, right? So at this point in time, I can give you my limited and infinite Gold 3 knowledge, right? So essentially what's going on, how I like to open, I start off with 6 on sheep, and then ultimately my next 3 go over to gold. From there, I rally everything back over to sheep, and I rally up until we have 13 in total before I age up. So naturally what I'm trying to do is just get some eyes on my opponent, more importantly trying to gather some sheep, and just get a feel for how close these spawns are, what may be occurring, what potentially may not be occurring, etc, etc. This is a matchup I'm not super fond of. Like, I'll take a Japanese matchup over a Mongols matchup. Like, I hate a Mongols matchup, right? Like, Dark Age pressure potentially is never fun, and being that I'm a player that doesn't necessarily have all of the mechanics to deal with certain things and adjust accordingly, it makes things even harder for me, right? So a Japanese matchup goes hand in hand also, we'll say, with like a Shushi matchup for me. Shushi, Japanese, even English to a degree. And the reason I say that is because some of these civs have quote unquote age 3 units at age 2, right? So Japanese, for example, have access to samurais in age 2. And if someone is pushing with, we'll say a lot of samurai aggression, and I'm not getting crossbows until age 3, English is another one, men at arms at what, age 2. So you get my point. So that's what I mean when I say I'm not particularly fond of certain matchups in that regard. So I'm opening with a Lancaster Castle, and that tends to be my go-to at this point in time. I really don't do the Abbey of Kings. Just not really my cup of tea. I haven't really incorporated into my build and the way I go about things. Not to say that I won't in the future, but that's just the reality as of now. My splits normally look like this. I'll use my 3 from gold to age up. I'll pull 3 off of food, put those on wood, and I'll pull another 3 off of food and put those on stone, as you'll see. So it'll be a 3-3 split, and then I'm rallying to wood from there and or the trees, right? So that's what we got going on. I'm not rushing back to base because House of Lancaster sparks and spawns with a couple more sheep than some of the other civs. So I'm just scouting around, trying to get an idea of what's going on, right? So, as of now, I'm map awareness, happy about being proactive with the scout. This may not be a big thing for y'all, but this is a big thing for me. Ideally, I'm going back to drop off the sheep, and I believe I head back down into the base of my opponent just to scout around and see what's going on. But I find that I can leave my scout idle at times, and I'm trying to get a lot more active with continually going in my opponent's base, seeing what he's doing, and having an idea of what's taking place, right? My House of Lancaster positioning, let me get it off and put this on free camera real quick. I put it here just because I wanted to try to be able to put manners in certain places that I could cover both the stone and the gold, right? So Had there been no stone here, I would have put it, just a little bit further up here. But being that there's stone and gold, I'm trying to cover my bases to be able to put manors down in both places. So, age up, all done. First manor down here. And I'm still scouting around, right? Now, this particular game, I was being a little bit more greedy, and what I mean by greedy is I was sitting here scouting around the entire map, right? Initially, what I normally would do, if, for example, a matchup like this, I would have taken those first bit of sheep that I had back home, right? And then I would have immediately went back down to my opponent's base, and I would have continued to just scout around his base, right? Reason being is because, as I mentioned before, my mechanics are not amazing enough to the point where I can just react. Let's say there's a samurai already in the base at this point in time. If he's in the base, more than likely he's coming with more. And had I not seen that from the very beginning already with a barracks on his side of the map, right, it would have given me a lot more time to react and a lot more time to process my thoughts. But hence what I mean when I say I got a lot more greedy. I scouted around a lot more than I normally would without seeing what's going on in the opponent's space. Right? So, as you see, I preemptively started building production. Just because I'm proactively assuming that there's going to be some aggression from the Japanese, right? And thank God that I did that, because here we go. There's a barracks that I see here, which means more than likely I'm going to start seeing samurai. That was just in my mind at the time. And another barracks, right? So I was like, okay, I'm glad I did that, because he's going to try to make use of the stigma that House of Lancaster players take a little bit more time, right? So the majority of most House of Lancaster players that I see, the majority of us are trying to get greedy and put as much and as many House of Manners, put as many manners up as we can, right, before having to build any kind of production or before having to build any kind of units, right? So being that a lot of Japanese players that I face off against me personally, and we'll say from a gold standpoint, a lot of them try to build samurais, build some archers, and do a ram push, right? And ultimately that was my assumption before I even saw the barracks down there. So as you see, I have not started making any units yet. I don't even have any queued up. I'm still building villagers at this point, but I do have the production buildings there. So my thought process is the moment I see him start making his way across the map, then I'll start pumping out some army, right? Some archers, some spearmen, etc. And then the moment I saw that scout as I was coming across, as you see, I queued up 2 archers, 1 spearman, etc. So going back down just to see how aggressive he may or may not be trying to get. And now I'm trying to pump out some army just to be on the safe side. So at this point in time, I have 3 manors up. I see 2 barracks, 1 archery range. And let me just take a look on his side just so we can get an idea and see if he has anything else here. So this is all I saw at this point in time, right? So he, of course, he went with the core storehouse. He's getting his farms up, has a few on gold, and he's, compiling and getting his army together. So we switch back over to my view. Let's see what we have going on. So I'm researching wheelbarrow now because in my mind I'm like, let me get some economic upgrades, because it's looking like we're going to be fighting in feudal, right? I'm like, I'm not good enough to the point where I can just defend with a few units as of now. So I'm like, I got 3 manors. I hit my max there. I'm getting some extra food, some extra wood. Let me put a tower up on my stone outpost over here, and then let me get some economical upgrades. Wheelbarrow, most important one for me. And then land practices, it looks like I'm researching that as well. And then let me come back down here and let's see what's going on if I need to start building more and more and more units. So that's where we're at. 6 workers in queue. Now the manor count, I can drop 6 now, extra 3 more if I need to, because that upgrade is done. Wheelbarrow is about to be done as well. Right now I'm still sitting on 2 production buildings, and I'm going back down just to see what my opponent is doing, because I have a feeling we're going to be fighting. I just don't know how much as of yet. So I'm like, let me start queuing up a few more units and go from there. So another barracks I see an army, and I'm like, okay, yeah, he's definitely coming, right? Like it's not even a question at this point in time. So now I need to see what else is in store here, right? Grab that sheep. And I know, I'm like, all right, I need some more stuff. Still producing, building some army, taking some time to throw out another manor while I have the opportunity to do so. I'm up to 4 right now. 5th one is building, so I know we're going to have a fight, right? And I'm like, okay, where did his army go to? Like, I lost track of the units. So now in my mind, if I remember correctly, not even if I remember correctly, I'm like, I'm panicking. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I don't have a big enough army to fight what he had, right? So now I'm like, all right, he's moving across the map now. Drop some more production buildings. 5 manors are done. I don't believe I end up building another one at this point in time. I'm literally just like, I need units. Nothing more, nothing less. I need units. Throw some people on food. And what do we have else? What I did to make 2 archery ranges, I believe. No, okay, 2 barracks, 2 archery ranges. Okay, we're good. So in my mind, I'm like, he's somewhere. I know a ram push is coming, and this is now I'm just starting to get economical upgrades. Horticulture, and what did I age with? I believe I might have aged with the White Tower. I believe. Yeah, I did age with the White Tower. Okay. So, age with the White Tower. Trying to go up now, and I'm looking for that army, y'all. I'm like, I don't know where this army's at, but I'm looking for this daggone army. So, specialized pick, getting these economical upgrades. A few more spearmen. What else did I make? Blacksmith. There we go. So, this is kind of where we're at right now. I'm hoping I'll have enough that I'll need before this fight comes, because I know the fight is coming. I don't think that he plans on aging, but I also didn't see any additional production building, so I was kind of in a place in my mind like, all right, is he coming to put on pressure? Is he trying to go all in on me? Like, what is he doing? Because I was expecting normally there's going to be a few more production buildings, right? So I'm like, he still has 3 production buildings. I have 4. I know he has a bigger army than me. But at this stage of the game, I'm like, I think I'll be able to hold things off. I just went up to 3, get these veterancy upgrades in, etc., etc. And we should have something to work with. So I'm still lost. I'm like, and then this is when I see, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what we got going on. And he has a lot. Like, he has a lot. So I'm like, here we go. So, my initial thoughts when I was looking at this fight, I'm like, this is not looking good for me at all, right? In the least bit. And I'm like, here, I just blew this game, right? Because I'm like, I don't have enough at all. I do not have enough. Giving away workers. They are definitely just dying for no reason. And I'm like, this is about to go down. So, still at this stage, I don't know why he decided to pull back with that, but I'm like, maybe if I can get these repaired at this point, we will see. And it goes down, y'all. So, you know, at this stage, I'm like, here we go. Go back inside. Know he's trying to get these workers done and out the way. And he's still streaming across. So, I'm building crossbowmen, hardened spearmen. I'm building everything. Upgrades are coming. And at this point in time, I'm like, no, I'm going to be able to hold this. Right? Literally, he kept getting too close with the daggone archers. He should have just let these bad boys cook and had the archers mess around and just kill my workers as they came out. So now I'm like, all right, I'm in a good position. Not concerned. Let me get this put back up. Let's get back to producing some villagers and let's get back to work. So I'm feeling comfortable at this point. He did some damage, but not enough villager damage. And I'm like, I'm ahead in the sense of I'm 3. He's still 2. Let's take a look inside his base and actually get an idea if there's anything that is going on here. So I'm literally on the offensive trying to push back. And still only 3 production buildings. He's trying to get food. He doesn't have anything he needs to go up at this point in time. And I say anything he needs. I mean, he has enough gold. But in my mind, I'm like, I have the upgrades, right? So I'm like, all right, now let me get aggressive. And let me push and actually return the favor, right? So, switch back over to my view. See what we're working with. So, as you can see, Steeled Arrow, Military Academy, Iron Undermesh, and freaking Fitted Leatherwork. And now I'm just pumping out units because I'm like, now it's my turn to be a little bit more aggressive. So, White Tower's back up. Idle villagers, unfortunately. And now I'm doing the same thing that he did, just throwing away units, right? Not good business. But I do see these boys running away. And I'm like, all right, let me go find some villagers to hunt. See what I can get done. This is who I was looking for. And so what's happening here is we're still getting upgrades, still making units, and they were super fast. Like, could not catch them, y'all. Makes me so mad. So he's running those all over the place. I'm still making units back at home, right? So just trying to make sure I have anything that I may or may not need in case he tries again for a push. And now I just got units sitting out the way. So 16 on gold, 20 on wood, 9 on food, and 5 that are still idle. Where are these idle villagers at? Just out of curiosity. Where y'all at? Those 2 are still standing there, y'all. Don't be like me. Be better. So, here we are. I'm still chasing down villagers. Alright? Still chasing down villagers. And I'm like, golly, like he's going to have me run these across the whole map. So, still pumping out upgrades, and now I'm like, alright, let me start transitioning to get some farms in here. So my thought process is he's really running these bad boys all over the place. He's probably going to try to save them with some sort of units. Don't know from where, don't know what's coming, but something is, right? So I have my units from back at home link up with the ones that we're chasing. I'm supply blocked at 80. Need to do better. And I'm like, where is... Got him. Got him. So, he links up, still supply blocked, trying to get some houses up or something. When I say trying to, maybe one day I will. Don't know when. Obviously not today. Okay, throwing up manners. Good, good, good. Took me long enough to do something, but this should put me up to 9, I believe. Yes, that'll put me up to 9 manners in totality, right? 8. And look who's idle. So that's something just quick little tidbit, something that I have to do better with, and I'm working on it, but idle villagers, right? I'll end up having villagers that are idle that may sit there for the entire game. Something I have to do a lot better job of. I'm proud of my upgrades. That is something, a pro of mine in my book, that I'm doing somewhat well. So got my upgrades in. I need to another con. I need to add more production buildings in. That's something that should have been done. I'm at this point in time. I'm only sitting on what, 4 barracks, 4 archery range. Okay, so not the worst. 1 siege workshop. Should have added in another blacksmith. But yeah, not terrible. So it's definitely something that I need to do better of. Like I mentioned, idle villagers. Even this game, something that I struggle a lot with as well, just in making villagers, right? At least this game, I'm at 58 villagers and still counting. A lot of the times I'll get up to, we'll say, like around 40, 50 villagers, and then I won't even say subconsciously, just unintentionally, I'll stop making villagers. I'll continue making army, right? So I'll have army cranking out. I'll have, spearmen, archers, crossbowmen, men-at-arms, etc. But I won't have any villagers that are in queue. I'm not making any, right? And that's something that I'm happy. At least here we are 20 minutes into the game. I should have more than 59 villagers, in my humble opinion, but at least I'm still making villagers, you know what I mean? So 17 on gold, 21 on wood, 15 on food, 3 on stone, 9 out of 9 manners. Not doing too bad, right? Got close to 700 wood that I'm floating. I could have easily dropped down more production buildings. Another thing that I did I make my... Okay, I did make my monastery. Good. More idle villagers. Unfortunately, monastery is on the way, though. And now I'm going to go out and grab some relics. Still massing an army. And still trying to get down here and cause some havoc. Cause some havoc, excuse me. So, something else I could have did at this point in time, I probably could have got level 2 upgrades as well, economic upgrades. So shaft mining, lumber preservation, and then of course the food upgrade as well. I probably could have got those and got that out the way. So all in all, I'm feeling pretty comfortable, y'all. I did some damage down on his side. We killed a decent chunk of villagers, which was good. I know I hit 3 before him, but at this point in time, I'm just getting upgrades because my thought process is I'm looking to finish this now, right? In age 3 at least. I'm not even looking to go up to Imperial. I'm looking to get done whatever damage I can and get this game done and out the way. So here we are. Time to get down here and start pushing. I had 20 idle villagers, and I'm like, I need to go secure some more gold on the map. Let's see what we're working with and go from there. So, moving down, y'all. Taking the priest with me, 2 to be exact, which is good. That's another thing I want to get more in the habit of doing, right? Just taking actual monks with me into fights, right? Super beneficial, super important, and it's something that I find myself, I will make monks, I will make the religious units, and then I'll forget to move them, right? Because unfortunately they're not, there's no hotkey essentially for me to just select all of them, right? Like I can permanently select the hotkey for, infantry, for range units, for artillery or siege. You get the point, right? But there's no hotkey just to select all religious units, unfortunately. And that's, I guess we could say there's a caveat to that. There's certain civs that you can do that. So we'll say like a Rus when their religious units are horses, or even Ayabids or Abbasid where their religious units are, camels, you know what I mean? Like, so all of those can be set as a hotkey. Even I believe like Chinese and Shushi, their monks are considered to be like infantry units, but unfortunately not all civs are like that. So at this point in time, I see them streaming across the map, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing. So he passed me. I passed him. I'm like, now let me get back into the mix and get ready to fight because he's coming with a lot. He's coming with a lot, yeah. So I don't even know if he knows that I'm behind him at this point in time, but I'm like, okay. Let me get ready to cook. And at this stage of the game, I'm like, all of his units are occupied. I'll just pull my villagers out, and I'll clean all of these up one by one. One by one, y'all. So, not my best work, also not my worst either, because I knew I had more than enough to take care of what I needed here. In the moment I finished up this fight here, I was like, I can go down there and literally go right into his base. Should be enough crossbowmen that I have, should be enough military units, and guess what? My monks are contributing as well, which was good. So I'm like, literally, he's just losing everything that he had, and it was a good push, but just didn't pan out the way I'm assuming he expected it to. So, ended up taking things with a victory. Definitely was happy about that. That first initial fight definitely had me concerned, I must say, because I did not think I had enough when he came up and he hit me after I just put my white tower up, right? I did not think I had what I needed. But all in all, definitely a good game. Let me come down here. I think it was it this one? I just want to take a quick look at our stat sheet really quickly just to see what we were cooking with, y'all. No, it wasn't idle field game. It was it? Yeah, it was the Dry Arabia. Okay. So timeline wise, we didn't do too bad all in all, right? Initially he was getting ready to cook, but this is what I want to see. Overall score wise, we did decent. 160 that I was able to knock out of there. Took one building down, largest army. Economy wise, total I did good. He had me beat with food. It looks like I had him beat with everything else for the most part. Technology wise, did decent there as well. My age 3 timing, I had him beat by almost 6 minutes, which was nice. Research wise, I did pretty decently there as well. And society wise, 2 relics, 74 villagers that I had in the mix. And then my idle villager time, ridiculous, y'all. 1 minute and 45 seconds. Don't be like me, be better. So all in all, I'm pleased with the victory. The pros, and let's start with the pros, right? Pro wise, I pumped out villagers. There wasn't a point in time in the game where I did not pump out villagers, so I'm happy about that. 25-minute game, I continued to pump out villagers. I guess obviously that might not be true to an extent because if it's a 25-minute game and I pumped out villagers consistently, then I'm pretty sure I would have at least hit 100 and I would have been maxed out, right? So I guess we can't say that I pumped out villagers consistently the entire time, but for the most part, I did a decent job, better than my normal of pumping out villagers. So that would be a pro. Another pro, I actually made a few additional monks or priests, and I in turn had one captured relics, a few other ones with my army, and actually contributing to the healing while I was fighting. So another thing I'm pleased about. Research wise, I did a decent chunk of tech, decent chunk of upgrades. So I was pretty good there, and even transitioning into farms. That's another thing I did. I think I did relatively decent. I want to say I had about 24 farms on top of my manors that are generating food and wood, right? So that's something that I tend to struggle with. In other words, I'll be all over the map. I'll gather food from all over the map, and then once the food is gathered up, I at that point in time, and once I use it, I'm out of food, and I forget to transition into farm. So I think I did that relatively well, also. Now, with that being said, let's jump into the cons. Idle villagers, idle villagers, idle villagers, idle villagers. And not only idle villagers, having villagers not garrison when they needed to be garrisoned, and rallying to resources that are getting attacked, and i.e. just contributing to their death. So that's a very big con. Idle villagers, number two, that would be one. Number two, yet again, rallying villagers to places they don't need to be, and not garrisoning villagers when they should be garrisoned. Um, what else? What else? When I ran down into his base, I ended up donating some units that I did not need to donate, right? Similar to what he did on my end, I feel like he could have finished the fight initially had he just relied more on this battering rams and just had his archers behind and out the way of the town center, and only coming up close to my town center if and when I try to get out and repair the town center, or if I try to come out and destroy the battering rams. So that's another con. And those are kind of the things that come to mind at this point in time. So all in all, we'll take the victory, but still a lot of work that needs to be done, still a lot of improvement, and yeah, man, we'll go from there. So with that being said, ladies and gents, any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave them below. Any tips or tricks that you have, any constructive criticism, definitely feel free to leave it below. Just make sure everything remains respectful and on task and on target, right? In addition to that, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And definitely feel free to check out the live stream. You'll see all the links in the description tab, so feel free to come over and hang out with your boy. MyGamingJourney.com is the house for everything. Currently making some edits and getting some things worked on. So if you go over to the site now, you'll just see basically a maintenance in progress page, come back soon type page. So working on some things behind the scenes, but definitely feel free to come over there and check me out, ladies and gents. Definitely come over, check out the live stream. Yet again, like, follow, share, subscribe, and or if not, don't do that as well. I'm okay. I just appreciate y'all tuning in, spending some time with me, and naturally, until next time, God willingly, we can do this again soon. Everybody take care.